You know, Iran's been threatening to pull out of the NPT, the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, for some time now. Let's say it does do this, and I think that's what a lot of experts are guessing, especially after these strikes, right? It means that, from what I understand, and you tell me what you think, it means that once they do that, right, it would be so much easier for them to continue pursuing a weaponization program as opposed to a commercial program just to keep the lights on, right? Because it needs less stuff, less uranium, less equipment as well, and also can be much more easily hidden. Is that what you are expecting Iran to do?
Well, if they pull out of the NPT, that means the IAEA, the international organization that tracks nuclear non-proliferation around the world, will no longer be able to access Iran, visit those sites, have their sensors and cameras in those sites, so their ability to track what's going on will be much more limited. Obviously, Iran, as we know, has lied to them in the past, has had covert facilities, so even inspectors is not a foolproof mechanism, but you'd rather have them than not have them. So if Iran pulls out, it's going to be a big problem. However, it's not so easy for them to pull out, because if they pull out, the Russians are helping them build and maintain the civilian reactor at Bushehr that is providing electricity to Iran, they would have to pull out. So it's a bit problematic. But the key question really, I think, is not how much damage was done, but what happens next. Because the Israelis have now, I think, crossed the Rubicon, as did the United States, in striking Tehran, in striking all over the country. And now Iranians have to think, if we start rebuilding, we may get hit again. And the Israelis have the strategy with regards to terror groups and their neighbors that they believe are their enemies to mow the lawn, as they call it, to continuously, on a periodic basis, go in and do airstrikes, do other assassination campaigns. So reconstituting the program, it's always possible, but it's going to be much, much harder if you're living under the threat of constant bombardment, either from the Israelis or potentially even from the United States.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. You know, Dmitri, it'd be fair to say that the president and Bibi Netanyahu have not always been on the same page. I think that would be an understatement. Right now that the president is talking about talking to Iran in the next couple of days, and we don't know what kind of format that's going to be, a phone call or sit down or what. I'm wondering, do you get the sense that the U.S. and Israel are on the same page in terms of what they want to achieve or get out of Iran if it gets down to a sixth or, I don't know, seventh round of talks? Because, I mean, for Bibi Netanyahu, it's regime change. He wants those guys gone. The president is probably happy enough with, look, if we can show that their nuclear program is not weaponizable, they just want to keep the lights on, that's fine with us. Is Israel and the U.S., are they on the same page now?
I think they are, because as much as Bibi wants regime change in Iran, even he knows that it's not necessarily something that Israel can control, not something that it can orchestrate. So that was not part of the goals for this operation. If the United States pursues the policy that Steve Witkoff just articulated on your show, of no indigenous enrichment on Iranian soil, no weaponization, the Israelis will be happy with that. The question is Iran going to go that far? It's a matter of prestige, but beyond even prestige, they want to be a threshold nuclear power. Maybe they haven't made a decision to actually build the bomb, but they want the ability to do so in a relatively quick time frame, and not having enrichment on their soil would prevent them from doing so.
Yeah, it gives a whole new meaning to the Breaking Bad, right? When all sides sit down, or both sides sit down, I'm wondering whether or not the issue of Iran's ballistic missile program is going to come up. I would think that Bibi Netanyahu would certainly wish it would. I'm not sure that is as important to the U.S. Because, I mean, for Israel, right, Iran's nuclear program, that's an existential question. Ballistic missiles, that's a day-to-day, hour-to-hour issue.
Yeah, I don't see Iran conceding on the ballistic missile program. There's no international regime to ban ballistic missile programs, right? We do have a non-proliferation treaty to prevent the proliferation of nuclear weapons, but every country has a right to develop ballistic missiles under current international law. It's very hard to get them to stop that, particularly when they've suffered these attacks, obviously, from Israel, these bombing campaigns. So the Israelis care about that. I think the U.S. cares much less about it. So it'll be, I think, up to the Israelis to try to do more damage to that program, either covertly or even overtly going forward.